Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Seeing some partly cloudy skies out there at the current time as some of the low-level clouds have briefly moved out of the area, but overall expecting mostly cloudy conditions today. We'll see those slightly breezy to breezy conditions as well as we continue to see onshore flow, keeping temperatures fairly comfortable for this time of year, and we will see a chance of those winds possibly getting up to wind advisory criteria. So slight chance we see a wind advisory, particularly as we get into the afternoon. Overall, expecting mainly dry conditions, very slight chance to a slight chance of an isolated sprinkle, maybe a shower, but generally looking at a fairly nice day ahead. Taking a look at our current surface analysis, still looking at that stall boundary along the southeastern coast. We have some shower activity off the coast and moving and trending away from the area. And as this continues to move away from the area, moving into the weekend, we'll see high pressure building in, and we'll be trending drier as we go through the next couple of days, and then see a return to some hot, humid conditions as we get later into the extended forecast. Upper level winds this morning had that onshore component. In the lower levels, once again, seeing those winds turning more west-southwesterly as we get into the upper levels. Our peak wind today was at 23 knots at 25,000 feet. Freezing level this morning was at 13,900 feet. Taking a look at the current visible satellite, we can see this lower level cloud deck that's filled in over the peninsula here. Some additional cloud cover with that shower activity off to our southeast and tracking away from the area. Going to continue to see these low level clouds through the day today and into the overnight time frame. We'll look at the European model here for what we can expect for the next several days. As mentioned, mainly dry conditions today, but can't rule out an isolated sprinkle or possibly a light shower as we get into the afternoon. As you can see, the European model kind of indicating some of that precip possibility in our region, but generally not expecting any significant impact from that as it will be brief and very light and little to no accumulation. Main story today will be some breezy conditions and that slight chance of seeing a wind advisory during the afternoon time frame. Going into the overnight will remain mostly cloudy, keep a slight onshore breeze, and keep temperatures comfortable. That continues as we go into Friday with mostly cloudy conditions generally through the day. Expecting that precipitation to stay off the coast as well. Maybe a light sprinkle, but looking mainly dry. We'll see slightly breezy conditions once again with a slight chance of seeing a wind advisory again on Friday. And as we move into the weekend, we'll start to see high pressure trying to build down into the region, and that shower activity will move away from the coast. And we'll start to see that wind weakening some. So still looking at a fairly comfortable day on Friday. And as we move into Saturday, we'll start to see those winds generally start to weaken and then shift more subtly moving into next week, and that's going to bring back those more seasonable highs into the mid 80s and some more humid conditions as well. Monday looks fairly seasonable but dry, and as we move into Tuesday and into the middle of the week, we'll start to see more of that heat humidity in the area. Actually see back to some above average temperatures, and we'll start to see daily chances of afternoon pop-up showers or storms, but a bit far out to really narrow that down. So our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, starting off with green conditions this morning, just a yellow risk for precip during the afternoon time frame with the chance of an isolated sprinkle or shower. Again, no significant impact or accumulation expected from that, just the possibility of that occurring. We'll keep a very slight chance of a sprinkle as we move into the evening as well. Introducing a yellow risk for winds that are above 25 knots during the afternoon and first part of the evening, as well as we do expect those east-northeasterly winds to continue, peaking around 10 to 15 knots sustained, and peak gusts up to around 22 knots. So just below that criteria, but can't rule out briefly exceeding that criteria. And we'll keep slightly breezy conditions with peak gusts up around 17 knots as we move through the overnight time frame as well. We'll stay cloudy as we move through the day today. High expected around 79 degrees, and expecting those ceilings to be between 2,000 and 3,000 feet as we move through the day, with those ceilings dropping down to around 1,500 feet as we move into the early morning hours of Friday. We'll see our low temperature around 69 degrees. Tides are running half a foot to a foot above normal with that onshore breeze. And looking at the extended forecast here, mostly cloudy, slightly breezy for Friday, similar to today. With a bit drier conditions, and then increasing into the 80s as we go through the weekends, but still fairly comfortable with some onshore flow, partly to mostly cloudy conditions at times on Saturday, and then partly cloudy to mostly sunny as we move Sunday into Monday. And again, as mentioned, heating up as we go into next week, back into the mid to upper 80s, particularly as we get later into mid next week. And we'll start to see those low temperatures rising, indicating that increased moisture. So starting to see some hot, humid conditions in the 6 to 7 day range, and introducing 10% chance of an isolated pop-up shower or storm. But again, a bit too far out to really narrow down that potential. That's going to conclude the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.